Good evening and welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm your host, Adam Mikuleshko. With me today is Evan Lasik and Dugan Lloyd. Tonight we are here to give the quarter season grades for teams in the NFL. There's definitely been some ups and definitely some downs, and some even surprising teams. Evan, I'm bringing it right to you. Who is your top grade in the NFC so far?
So the 49ers are sitting at 3-0. They're not my top grade, but they are currently the best team in the NFC according to record. I'm giving them a B because they are moving the ball on offense. They're missing some key pieces, but they're still able to produce on defense. Their defense has been one of the best in the league, I think. The turnovers have been a problem, especially against the Steelers. They turned the ball over 5 times, I believe, but they weren't able to do anything. The Steelers weren't able to do anything. If they do that against a great team, then those turnovers are going to really affect their outcome.
So despite a tough loss at home against the Eagles last Thursday, I have the Packers as the top of the NFC North. I think they have the defense to back up Aaron Rodgers this year, but I just don't think he's playing up to standard at this moment, so I have them at a B.
Yeah, and like you said, the 49ers have been looking good so far. Tevin Coleman, you got to remember, is coming back. He's going to be helping in the running game and passing game. And Dante Pettis, don't forget him. He was looking good last year, but he got injured and then had some drops. But he's coming back. He had a big touchdown against the Steelers for the game-winning drive, and he could have a big breakout season. As for the Packers, the Eagles, their season was on the line here, let's be honest. It was Thursday Night Football in Lambeau. The Packers, had a good defense, but they're rolling into Dallas next week, and facing Zeke and that offense is going to be a little good test, so it should be a good one. But let's switch it now to the Sunday Night Football game last week. We had this Cowboys and Saints. Saints has Teddy Bridgewater as a quarterback. Drew Brees got hurt, but what did you guys think on that game?
So you see the Saints, they were able to win without scoring an actual touchdown. It's because of their defense. Their defense definitely gets an A+ for the quarter of the season, but their offense, until they get Brees back, is going to sit at a B- probably, because they haven't been able to finish drives and they have not been able to close out games like that. The field goals definitely help, their special teams help, but their defense has been the life force of that team.
So for the Cowboys, they have had a weak schedule, and they did have a disappointing performance this Sunday, but I still have them as one of the best teams in the league. I mean, Kellen Moore, he's done great things as offensive coordinator in his first year after being QB coach last year. And I just like the way the offense is looking, and I think they're going to bounce back next week.
See, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I think the Cowboys just had a really easy schedule, but as soon as they played a real team like the Saints, you saw Dak just fold under pressure. And I don't know about you, but that's not a $40 million quarterback to me. Thrown into quadruple coverage like that to Amari Cooper, that's not a good read.
And we got to be honest, the Cowboys have had a JV schedule so far, but we shall see what's going to happen when they come. Like I said earlier, they're facing the Packers. It's going to be a great game. And now let's transition to the AFC. We have some undefeated teams so far. We got the Patriots, Chiefs, looking very nice. They almost lost, but what do you guys think on the AFC so far?
Now, the AFC is always the same story. You have, usually though, the New England Patriots start off pretty rough and then heat up near the mid and end season. But right now, the Patriots are sitting at 4-0. They don't show any signs of slowing down. The only chance of stopping them is the Buffalo Bills in that division, but even then, Josh Allen looked terrible. The Patriots' defense has been phenomenal. Tommy Time still got it. He's got the arm still. He showed a little bit of his age against a good defense like the Bills, but he was still able to pull out the win.
So the Chiefs, I say that's the only other team in the AFC that really has a shot besides the Patriots. I'd say they'll be side by side all season. They have the reigning MVP, Patrick Mahomes, and he's been great this year. He didn't have a great game last week with a lot of dump-offs and the flats and the crosses, but I'd say the Chiefs, despite their rough defensive showcase this season, are going to be right up there in the AFC.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Obviously, the Patriots almost lost to the Bills, which I think is a big surprising team so far. But then you got the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes. What were you doing, Pat? Come on, you're screwing up my fantasy team here. But it's all good. I understand. You can't have a great game every day. But honestly, it's going to be very interesting to see. Who is your teams going forward as a team that might make the playoffs?
So we still have the AFC South, which is pretty mediocre this season. They're all sitting at 2-2, which is a tie, but they're giving the Houston Texans strength of schedule and the conference wins. They have 2 AFC wins, which is what is putting them ahead. But the AFC South is still wide open, and when that line plays good, then Deshaun Watson plays good. I'm still giving them a B- though. They've played good, but only when Deshaun Watson is protected.
In the AFC North, the Browns right now have the lead, but I'm really not that impressed with them. Baker Mayfield's shown a lot of signs of a sophomore slump, and I mean, despite being atop it right now, I don't see it prolonging. I'm giving them a B-.
Well, I mean, I gotta agree with you guys, but no one mentioned the Bills. I just said the Bills, honestly, before Josh Allen got hurt, they almost beat the Patriots, who were undefeated, like we just mentioned. And it's gonna be interesting. But now going to MVP talk, who do you think your most valuable player is so far up to this point?
I believe you got to go with Christian McCaffrey. He's flown under the radar because of all the talk of Pat Mahomes, and Dalvin Cook is a great running back. But the things McCaffrey's been able to do with receiving and rushing, then it's just adding the numbers. It's boosting them. It's really helping him put up those MVP caliber numbers. He's put the team on his back, and he's more or less the only reason they're getting wins or coming close in games is because they're just feeding him the rock.
I don't want to jump the gun too quickly on Lamar Jackson, but right now I'd say he's the guy. I mean, adding Marquise Hollywood Brown has really helped him out a lot, and he just looks more comfortable in the passing game and still can run with the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta agree. Lamar Jackson has been looking good. Hollywood Brown, he's been losing some drops or some touch time so far, but if he's bouncing back with the Steelers, it should be interesting. Let's go to the LVP so far. Now, for people who don't know who the LVP is the least valuable player. I made that up, kind of heard about it. But who do you think your LVP is so far?
Corresponding to last year, Juju Smith played great. Now he stepped into a #1 role, and he hasn't looked good, which is making him the LVP. The Steelers are 0-3, and they need him to step up as a #1, which isn't entirely his fault. It's just the Steelers are not doing very well right now.
For me, it's easy. Joe Flacco. He's at the helm of the 26th best scoring offense of an 0-4 team, and he just doesn't look like the same guy. Someone who was once elite, I just don't see it anymore. I think it's time for him to leave.
That's all the time we have for today for this segment. For Evan Lasik and Dugan Lloyd, I'm Adam Mikoleshko. Thanks for talking around the league with me.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSNTV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.